everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of Channel Control. I am Matt. You can also call me at Move the Joystick because that's where you can find me on all social media, on Twitter, Instagram, all the wonderful places in the world. You can find me at Move the Joystick. You can also find BC, who will do his top 5 later on, at RealJackAssBC, and that spells Real Jackass BC. And to my right is a man you all know, you love him. He is the lovable hater. It is Mr. Rob Entropy.
Thank you, Matt. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
That was fantastic.
I know how to do this stuff.
Man.
No one lets me do it.
So much better than what I do. She lets you do this every week.
I mean, I'm here.
Yeah, but, you know, sometimes you annoy me.
I know. I annoy everybody
Not really.
sometimes.
No.
That's why I come here, because I annoy my wife to the point where she's just like, you need to go.
You told about that last night.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so Matt gets this from Activision yesterday.
Yeah.
And tell the people what you did with this mask.
So, I did a lot of things with this mask. So when I got it, I opened it up and I was like, oh my god, what is this? This is crazy. And then I met up with my wife and I said, oh, look what I got from this video game company. And, she, gets it and she's like, oh, what the... Oh! And she's like, when I say she was about to chuck it, but, had some weird restraint, it was literally like, ah! It was amazing. So
I'm gonna throw this shit, but it's his.
Yeah. She had a really weird conflict, within the span of half a second. And she's like, "You can't bring that in the house." Nuh-uh. Nope, can't do it. Well, we're leaving this restaurant. We had taken separate cars because she was coming from work. And so she's like, okay, how are we going to get home? And I was like, oh, we're going to go this way. She goes, okay, I'll follow you. So she's getting in her car, and she's got one of those cars that has, one of those sunroofs that she can, take out. So she's, doing that because it's a nice, warm evening.
Warmish.
And she doesn't notice me.
Yeah.
Who is parked right next to her, putting on this mask and then just staring at her. And so I'm just watching. And doing that really creepy tilt that you can do with a mask that really just freaks people out. So I'm doing that.
Especially that mask.
Yeah, right? So I'm doing that. And so she's like, "Dun." Oh my god! It was awesome. And then at one point we're driving and we stop at a stoplight and, we saw I was not wearing the mask at this point. We saw each other. She was like, okay, it's fine. And then we were still driving. And then I put the mask on while I'm driving, which is not safe. And we get to another stoplight. And I turn and she's like, come on. It's pretty great.
That was fantastic. He was on the phone with me when he did.
I did. Yeah.
He just said, oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. He puts the phone down, and then I just hear laughter. And he picks the phone and is like, we were at a stoplight, and I put the mask on.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Okay.
Pretty great.
So, yeah, your life is exciting.
Certain days.
You're trying to goad your wife into giving you a beating, so, I mean...
Oh, yeah. She was like, you can't bring that in this house. And then, we got home, and she was in the bathroom, and I should have put it on. And she was just like, I'm surprised you don't have it on. When she got out of the bathroom, I was like, no, I just want to save it. I need to save it for rainy days. And she's like, you're going to catch me on the wrong day. I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm like, oh, that's true. She would do that. But we are talking about television today. And coming up on today's program, we have obviously channel surfing, where you're going to talk about a brand new show coming up on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Also, we're going to be doing...
Am I talking about a different show?
What?
Well, it is Netflix.
Though. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I know which show you're about to talk about.
I know, but I mean, you say it like you always talk about Netfllix anyways. So.
I mean, that's mostly what you want. Anyway, then we're also, I think, we'll see if BC does a top 5.
We'll see if it happens or not, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we're going to kick it all off with some news, and it's going to start off with a bit of a somber story, and we're going to let you kick that off.
Yeah, okay. So we know that Luke Perry passed away this week after suffering a massive stroke.
Yeah.
February 28th. I think that was a Thursday.
Coincidentally, I think it was the same day that they had announced the
day after.
the day after they did the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot.
They said they were going to do a reunion show with the entire cast. I think except for
I
him and I don't know if it was a reboot or.
Well, they were doing it again.
They were doing,
I just wasn't sure what they were doing.
A show with the original cast coming back, but I don't think that him or Shannon Doherty were going to be there.
Okay, yeah.
Because she's been having issues for the past couple of years with cancer.
Right.
And I don't know where she is in that. I believe it went into remission, but she's still...
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard thing to get through. Yeah. And then I know Luke Perry was having scheduling conflicts by doing Riverdale.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks, man. That happens the day later. You know, he suffers a huge stroke.
Yeah, and I mean, when they say massive stroke, even if he lived, he probably wouldn't be the same person again.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, with a massive stroke, you have to like relearn how to do everything. Really, you have to learn how to eat. You have to relearn how to like talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just rough.
I mean, my mother suffered a stroke about 2 years, a year ago. A year ago, or early last year.
And, it was around the same time as that hurricane that was hitting Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a massive stroke because, I mean, she's still here, thank God.
Yeah,
but
thank God.
She had to relearn a bunch of things. She can no longer walk.
Oh man, that's rough.
I mean, she can stand up, but as far as walking,
it's tough. Isn't it?
She's pretty much wheelchair bound or bedridden. So, and if you talk to her for a while, she seems to be okay, but you can tell that there's some issues there.
Yeah.
But with him, it was like, on that scale, he wasn't coming back from that. He was going to be...
That's terrible, you know?
The thing is, okay, so let's get into what he did in his life. He did some acting before his big break came with Beverly Hills 90210.
Where he was like that heartthrob of that show. Yeah.
I mean, back in the early, what was the early 90s?
Early 90s,
yeah. About then, because it was around Melrose Place area. But back in those times... The heartthrob thing was still a big thing.
Oh,
the Saved by the Bell with the
Saved by the Bell. Shoot, you could even look at Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the heartthrobs there.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 90210, I mean, that was all about the heartthrobs. It was like, you know, cute guys and, you know, all this.
They were the CW before the CW
was around. It really was. It really was the CW.
And he played the Dylan McKay, this kind of this rebel with
the bad boy.
James Dean type of character. Yeah, the one that everyone loves. So
exactly.
And it was just about will him and Brenda, will Dylan and Brenda ever be together, and so on and blah blah, and showing off the air. And then he's doing Riverdale recently, which is what caused the schedule conflict.
And he was doing great on Riverdale.
He was doing fine with that. I personally remember him. Yeah, I watched 90210 a couple seasons, but after a while I just stopped because I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done. But I really remember him from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original movie that started off before the TV series and all that with Christy Swanson. And I loved him in that movie. I love Paul Rubens more because if you haven't seen it, watch the movie and you'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's an actor going, and there have been a lot of people that have been dropping recently.
Yeah,
they're like beyond that rule of three thing. I think there's probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit in 2019. I know 2018 there were a few, you know, big ones like Stan Lee was in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this one's pretty big, you know. I mean, because as far as the world of television is concerned, I mean, this was one of those guys that everybody knew who Luke Perry was.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't familiar with Beverly Hills 90210 or maybe even the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I mean, there's a good chance you knew of who he was based off of Riverdale, and it's just he's a notable name.
Yeah, and the one thing about him, like very few stars out there. You never heard anything bad about him on the news.
Not at all.
I mean, everything I read about him, everyone said he was a really nice guy and so on. So, I mean, yeah, because, you know, he kept his ass out of the freaking media, out of the spotlight.
He seemed like the type that, you know, I'm coming in, I'm doing my job, I'll treat everybody nicely, and then I'm going home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's not something that you hear about all too often. And so he had a great career. I would have loved to have seen what he could have done, after this, but kudos to him. He left a life worth he lived a life worth living, and it's sad to see him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farewell, sweet prince.
Yeah. It was really sad. Anyway, let's move on to something that is also sad. It's not nearly as sad, but it's run its course. The CW has announced that Arrow will be ending after its 8th season that's airing this fall, and it'll only be about 10 episodes. And so the shortened 10-episode season will be the finale of a superhero show that really kicked everything off.
It started everything.
Yeah, it started it all. And I'm not even talking about CW-wise, because you look at what the landscape of television was before 2012. Like, we're talking 2011, and it really was, like, only thing that people were talking about were the first season of Game of Thrones. People were talking about AMC's amazing lineup of Mad Men, The Walking Dead, and Breaking Bad. And then, there really weren't a whole lot else. There was, there were a few things here and there that people were enjoying, but as far as superhero shows were concerned, there was nothing. It was a barren wasteland.
Yeah, there was the occasional show here and there, but it didn't last.
No, not at all. No, I know that we had that stupid Wonder Woman show that was 2 episodes and then it was gone. So, in 2012, the CW aired their first season of Arrow, and it honestly was like an immediate success.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and it was such a huge success that they spawned so many other DC Comics superhero shows from that. And the Flash, the Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, even though that is kind of in a different universe. Yeah. Supergirl. Even though it started in CBS, it still was a product of that universe.
Yeah, because the guy in charge of Supergirl in CBS is Greg Berlanti, who did Arrow and all that
exactly.
stuff.
So. And then it's not even just the CW that this whole thing spawned. I think if Arrow hadn't have been such a huge success, that hadn't been that spark that everybody was like, oh my gosh, they can actually work, we wouldn't have shows like Agents of Tomorrow or maybe even Daredevil or anything like that. Because, and I think more so for Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all those Netflix Marvel shows, because Arrow was that darker like superhero show that didn't really be overboard. And then Daredevil and all those just pushed the envelope even further.
Yeah.
But if Arrow hadn't have been that amazing success, then I don't think we would have had any superhero shows, really.
Yeah, they kind of pushed that. How dark can we, like you said, how dark can we go without going overboard?
Exactly.
And they push it to a limit. Of course, when you're talking about the Netflix MCU stuff or the next Marvel shows, they're on Netflix.
Yes.
So they can go a little bit more.
They can do whatever they want, really.
They can get a bit more bloodier. But, Arrow still took it there in a few episodes.
They did. Well, the whole first season, he was just killing everybody. And it wasn't until the second season that he was like, oh, I gotta not kill. And then that was a whole plot point of don't kill.
I gotta stop killing everyone I go after.
And I almost wonder if that was a network deal. Like the network was like, okay, we loved season 1, guys, but how about if he doesn't kill a lot? Because he's supposed to be a hero.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a hero.
And Greg Berlanti was like, I guess.
Fine.
And we can't discredit Mark Guggenheim too. He's also a creator of that show as well.
And even though before we found out all the crappy stuff about him, Andrew Kreisenberg or whatever, one of the writers, the one that got caught up in the whole Me Too scandal where he was treating people badly or whatever. But anyway, he was still a writer and he wrote some good stories.
He did.
You gotta give him that.
Yeah.
So.
But it'll be ending soon, and as sad as it is, I think it's about time.
Yep.
And 8 seasons, I think, is honestly more than enough, because these are seasons that go for 20, 24 episodes. So we get through a lot of story in just one season. So I feel like we've kind of run its course with it. Arrow hasn't been that #1 rated show for a long time. Flash took that over a while ago. And if anything, I think that this is going to be good because it opens the door for other CW hero shows and just bring in a fresh crop of heroes. Like the next one's going to be Batwoman with Ruby Rose. Mm-hmm. So that opens, like them leaving opens up a time slot for that. And I just would like to see other superhero shows, like maybe a Blue Beetle, a Booster Gold, something like that, like you always say. But
with Ted Cord.
Could. So I think this is a good thing. It's going to be sad because, I think Stephen Amell has been such a tremendous success and the whole cast and crew has been amazing. And what they did was absolutely influential. I just hope that all of them have a good amount of success moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen Amell did a video saying what he mentioned. We're not supernatural, but what we did was a good show.
Yeah.
So it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And I honestly I felt this for decades that some shows go past 7-8 seasons, and I'm like, when is it going to end?
Yeah.
The story's getting bad. This is getting worse and worse, especially in shows where you have, like, let's say comedies, where you have two people who you want to get together, but the show keeps them together forever. Then they get together, they get married, someone gets pregnant, and by that time, the show's going downhill.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse.
Typically, yeah.
So,
like, I think New Girl probably went one season too far, too long. And that's why and I talk about this a lot when we talk about cancellations or shows ending. That's why I think that what Vince Gilligan and AMC did with Breaking Bad was perfect. Mm-hmm. They told the story in 5 seasons. AMC was like, we're going to back up this money truck for you to keep this show going. And they were like, no, we're done.
Yeah,
we're not going to do this anymore. And I think more shows need to do that. Just know what your end game is. And don't be too, I guess, tempted by the money that's coming in. Because Supernatural, I think, was tempted by the money that was coming in.
Yeah, they wrote, the guy who started that wrote for 5 seasons.
Yeah, and then that was it.
He says, in 5, I'm done.
Right.
I don't care what you do. In 5, I'm finished. And we're going into season 15 now.
And that's too much. It's just too much. I'm going to be curious to see how Arrow ends, what the resolution is going to be for everybody. Will Oliver have a happy ending? That's going to be an interesting thing to see. And I think it's going to also be curious to find out, are we going to see Arrow again via another CW show? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That is something that Stephen Amell also talked about, where he said, even though the show is ending, it's not the end for Green Arrow.
Right.
So he will pop up in other shows. It's pretty much guaranteed that he will be.
And those are going to be the best shows.
Or he may do something else. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. I do want to see him rise up and have like a good career. This was his breakout show. I want to see him do more. And
Stephen Amell's just going to go to WWE, man.
No, AEW. It's going to be AEW. It's just, I just look back at the other role that we've seen him do, because I think the only 2 roles that come to mind when you think of Stephen Amell are Oliver Queen and Casey from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that one was good, one wasn't good. So I'll be interested to see if he can find a role, he can find a niche that he can, live in again.
It's definitely going to be something action. It
has to be.
That's just him.
Although I could totally see him on a rom-com. Just saying.
Before we get off of this, I just want to say that I've been looking. Last night I was looking up the ratings for some of these shows.
Yeah.
For this week,
I don't know if
for this week's Supergirl, actually Flash is the highest rated show among the CW, and even it's low compared to all the other channels. Supergirl behind that, and then Arrow and Black Lightning are pretty much equal. They haven't come on yet. They're not airing until April.
Okay. I wonder if CW even cares about ratings, honestly. Like, I think like they have like maybe a bar. I think that they're probably like, all right, if you're above this, you're good. If not, in your heart of Dixie, we'll keep you on for another 3 seasons.
Well, CW looks at a lot of their shows like, okay, we know we're not going to get the market share all the other channels are, so they are lowered.
Yeah.
To a certain amount, which is why when they moved Supergirl to Sundays, it was like. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are days where they expect ratings to be a lot lower because people are going to be out and they're not watching TV and so on. So it's like
also, Sunday night's like prime time for a lot of different shows. So it's just going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing ends. And
how will this going affect other shows?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting effect too. But I've got a question for you. What's the next show that gets canceled?
I saw some shit post online about Supergirl, but like I said, when I looked at the ratings of Supergirl is high.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of the shows, so that may not go. Black Lightning, while good, it's still going through some rough patches that they need to work out. The only thing I can think of right now that maybe the next one to go is Legends. And the thing is, I like Legends, but I don't know. Their ratings and their whole scheduling may be the thing that kind of like, okay, you know what, we can do without this one. Yeah. So let's push this one.
And you also got to think, too, like, there are so many cast members in that one show. Like, how much does that show cost?
Yeah.
I think Legends is a smart one. I think that's a safe bet. I almost feel like Flash. And the reason why I say Flash is because
Flash is still a winner.
It is. No, I'm not saying it isn't. But what I'm thinking more on the lines of the same reason why they're ending Arrow. Because you only have so much story to tell. And
you can't keep pushing this Flashpoint thing.
Exactly. And we've been on for like the second longest CW show as far as the Arrowverse is concerned. This is, because as soon as Arrow was on, then Flash came on like a year later. So it's been running its course for a while too. And yeah, like how much more do you really get to, especially since we know, I guess, what the outcome's going to be. We know where the ending is going with this.
How many more speedsters are we going to freaking see?
Yeah, So, I don't know. Like, I feel like Flash is maybe one more season. And then they'll open the door for something else to come in. It's either Flash or Legends for me.
Yeah, I actually, not you mentioned Flash, I forgot that Carlos Valdez.
He's leaving.
Whatever, he's leaving the show.
Cisco's leaving.
So Cisco's going to be gone, so you won't have him around. And
honestly, I think that's a blow.
He was a big part of that show.
That's a blow for ratings. That really is. Like, because I think a lot of people did like Cisco, even though this past season was going with him. But
yeah, he's been kind of. But yeah, okay, I see your point with that.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing that's leaving us.
Yeah. But now, with all bad things, there must be some good things. Now,
except for some people.
That's true. Well, we have an influx of amazing things coming from Disney. That's because Disney held a shareholders meeting where they showed a whole bunch of stuff coming for Disney Plus and the amusement parks and everything. Yeah. And I will bring it over to you because you actually own stock in Disney.
Yes, I do. And the thing was, I didn't know. I forgot when the meeting was. I should start setting this thing on my calendar to remind me. But I forgot about the meeting this week until Jordan posted something about blah, blah. Disney shareholder. Went to the page and started listening. So, okay, they moved up the opening date for Galaxy's Edge. Which is their theme park thing for Star Wars and all that.
Which got a lot of huge buzz. Yeah. Whenever they first announced everything, everybody was like, oh my god, this is incredible.
Does that include the hotel?
I don't know what else. I assume it will, but I don't know.
Yeah, so, okay, well, I know I went to the Star Wars experience at Disney about 9 years ago. In 2010. So it It was great. I had fun there. So, but this was in their Hollywood Studios park. Now they have a complete section. This is just for Star Wars, and God, I want to go, but I'm not going this year.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
not the first year.
Too many people.
No, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like a third of the population is going to go there.
Yeah, I mean, even when everyone went to 9 years ago, that was packed, and I just happened to show up on a. Well, that was also Memorial Day weekend when I showed up. So yeah, there's a lot of people going then, and I believe that's when this is opening.
It must be nice to like be one of those people that can go do a preview walkthrough of this. Because there's nobody around. You get all the nice accommodations. They're like, you want some blue milk? Here you go. It must be really nice to do that. I
don't want blue milk.
I don't know. For me, like, I'm not a huge fan of crowds just because, like, people really get, like, you see the worst in people whenever you're in, like, a bunch of crowds and then it's hot because you're in Florida.
Yeah, Florida's a fucking hellhole.
Yeah, and especially because you're in Orlando, and Orlando is, like, not anywhere near the beach, so it's, like, always just hot and stuffy, and you're just sweating for no reason. It's just...
It's not like Texas hot. It's
muggy
hot, humidity hot, and it's like, oh, it's even worse.
Like, it's just, Star Wars is awesome, but I don't know if I care to go.
I don't want to brave the crowds for it.
Like, Galaxy's Edge looks really cool, but
but that's amusement park news or whatever, and there's other enhancements to amusement parks going on.
Caleb, which congratulations to our friend Caleb Celeb from Second Opinion Productions. He just had a second child, and we were talking.
Half demon.
Yeah, named it Dante. So he was telling me that he's got a plan for in 6 years to take his kids to Disney World because his daughter will be 8 and his son will be 6. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to start saving. We're going to go. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be awesome. We're going to go to the Star Wars place. It's going to be badass. And I was like, that's awesome, but I have no desire to go do that. Like, it's cool if you bring your kids. It's just, I don't know.
Anyway, moving along. Yeah. There was a question of what will be on the Disney Plus network when it comes out later on. And Bob Iger, in not exactly these words, said, well, Disney started back in 1923 or 28, somewhere around there. And everything from then till Captain Marvel will be on the Disney Plus network.
So you mean all the racist stuff?
Everything. Well, I think they're going to weed out some of that stuff.
I mean, they got some racist movies on there. Are we putting the porn
Walt Disney wasn't the greatest guy in the world.
Are we putting all the weird little porn teasing in there? The mentions of it.
Everything in the Disney catalog will be
about the Little
on
Mermaid where the Pope guy has like a boner. It is a thing.
I do not know that.
I have seen it.
I knew about the cover.
Yeah, there's a penis on there.
Penis on the spire.
Yeah. Nah, like the guy's like, dearly beloved, and you see the erection moving up and down. It's like,
video that they showed during the stockholder meeting. There was some Star Wars stuff, and what's coming up for future movies and TV series and stuff like that. And of course, they got some Endgame footage where we don't have any. People talked about it.
I mean, technically, we do have Endgame footage because we've seen trailers for it.
Yeah, but this is something that they showed exclusively there, which I was like, damn, I wish I would have seen it.
I don't know. Like, I've gotten, I don't know, maybe it's because of BC, but like, I've become somewhat of a purist when it comes to like these trailers, because it's like, I see one, I'm already sold. I'm good on it. I don't need to see
I don't need to see any. I'm going.
Yeah. Shoot, the other day, the new trailer for Game of Thrones came out, and Jordan was like, Matt must be busy because he's not freaking out about this trailer. And I'm like, because I don't want to watch that trailer.
I haven't watched it myself.
Yeah, see, I know that for 7 to 8 episodes, however long it is, I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm invested. I don't need to watch another, trailer or anything. I don't need to see it before I see it, So
people are throwing out all these theories online, all this. I'm like, And there was one point I almost clicked on it, and I was like, I'll watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Avengers: Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. When that movie was coming out several years ago, they showed like there was somebody who took a cam footage of like a little snippet that they took. A snippet that they were showing, and it was basically of Captain America like ripping open a log. And I'm like, I didn't need to see it. I'm okay. I would have still enjoyed it whenever I saw it in theaters. So
a lot of women love that.
Oh,
that
sure.
clip.
I mean, he was in a tight shirt. His muscles were perky, and he just was like, "Hah!"
Even Hannah was like, "Ooh,
girl." But as far as Endgame is concerned, this is going to be the culmination of everything. I mean, we thought Infinity War was going to be the culmination. This is the resolution of the culmination. So I don't need to see anything else. You know, I know the title. I've seen a trailer. I'm good. Like, so the fact that they're showing like Endgame footage during a stockholder meeting or shareholder meeting, it's kind of like, why?
Well, they did because they just want to show, hey, this is what's coming up for next month or next whatever it is. But there are a lot of people complaining about it because it showed Captain Marvel. Like they were saying, the Endgame footage focuses on Captain Marvel because the movie's coming out and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And I'm just
sense.
like...
That's just good.
Yeah, and I'm just like, shut up.
That's just good marketing right there. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to show footage, show Captain Marvel. And people are going to be like, interesting. I want to know more about her.
But the only thing I got from it was like Captain America turns to this team of heroes and said, okay, let's go kill Thanos.
Yeah.
And then they're off. And that's where we're going to leave that right there. The last bit of news for the whole stockholders meeting is Fox will be keeping its name. That's
smart. I mean, it's a reputable name.
They're not going to rebrand them. Fox is already known nationwide.
Yeah.
It's just going to be... It's a Disney company. It's just... They're still going to get movies from Fox.
I mean, it's the same thing as ABC, ESPN. Like, they're all owned by Disney, but they're just under a different name. Or, they're just given a different name. Like, Fox is fine. I mean, I'm okay with it.
How the only thing is...
I mean, if anything, it'll be like... Brun, dun, 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 so we got 20th Century Fox, and be like, a Disney company. And then it's going to be like... How much you want to bet that they're going to have that for like for Dark Phoenix? Or do you think it's not? Do you think Dark Phoenix is just going to be just straight up? This is Fox.
This is going to be straight up Fox.
Disney's like, not on this one. Not yet. Not yet.
They miss me with
this
that shit.
This was not us.
No.
Yes. Do you think New Mutants is going to be on Disney Plus? Because I thought I heard that New Mutants was going to be on Disney Plus, but it was just going to be like because hey, we made this movie, let's just put it out there somewhere.
It most likely will be because they already talked about a lot of the MCU stuff will be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to end up there.
New Mutants wasn't really MCU though.
Well, yeah, but I mean they're bringing them in so they can alter it however the hell they feel it because you know what, we have it now.
I swear it's gonna be like a Star Wars thing where it's like anything that's not part of the MCU is we're gonna call that the extended universe, and technically it's not canon. Everything you've already seen doesn't matter. Except for Logan. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
X2, we'll take that one.
We'll lay claim to that.
Deadpool's fine. Just calm down.
So, I mean, that's it for us. Next up, if he sends something in, BC's top 5 markout moments will go right here. If you didn't see a video, BC sent nothing in.
What do you think number 1 was?
I have no idea.
What do you think? What would you want number 1 to be?
Hell, it's been a while since I watched it, but when Jennifer finally starts using her powers, but that was
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be
I don't know what this week because I didn't actually. You know, Supergirl this week was that week was Manchester Black came back.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder like if I can't remember. Was the last mark-out moment, was the last one, did it have a positive Gotham moment? I feel like it didn't.
No, it did. It
did.
When he talked about Catwoman, Catgirl, and Riddler working together.
Yeah.
He said that the thing.
No,
the
it wasn't
chemistry
Riddler. It
between
was
them.
Penguin, wasn't it?
I thought it was Riddler.
I thought it was Penguin. Anyway.
One of the two.
Yeah. So, okay, if there was a positive thing about Gotham, it's not going to be on this one because he very fluctuates, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, I actually watched Gotham this week, waiting for the Orville to start, and oh god,
It's bad. Interesting.
Reason why I don't watch it. That's it.
I'll tell you what won't make it the top 5. And it has a lot to. It's going to be part of our new weekly wrestling podcast. That is a thing. That isn't a thing. That is a thing. It's that Tommaso Ciampa has a neck injury and had to have surgery, and now he has to relinquish the NXT Championship.
Oh, so he's done.
He's done, and it's the same neck injury that Edge had and Stone Cold had.
Oh yeah, he done.
Yeah,
he's done. His career is over.
But. I mean, it's also the same one that Lita had, and Lita did come back for a little bit, just they were never really the same.
Yeah, Lita broke her neck.
Yeah, that's true.
During a stunt on Black Angel.
Yeah, it was messed up. So I'll be interested to see if he's going to be able to be okay and come back. It's going to be a while, and so I hope Ciampa recovers, because he is the greatest sports entertainer of all time. So, I mean, come on.
I don't know, but I don't watch
That's what he calls himself.
NXT enough.
He calls himself.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but I seen him, I'm like, yeah, okay. Aleister Black, way better.
Aleister Black is dope. He is dope.
The team up of Aleister Black and Ricochet,
it's a weird team. It's good. It's just a weird team. But those are guys that can be solo. They can be by themselves, and then they keep teaming them up together to go after tag teams. I'm like, I can't help but feel like this tag team idea is only because Ciampa and Gargano are or Ciampa's injured. So they're like, oh, we can't do the Ciampa and Gargano thing, so let's just team up Black and Ricochet and have them go after things. And they're a great tag team, but I think that's the only reason why they're doing that, because if you remember, after that first or second week, whenever Ciampa and Gargano were on there doing their tag team stuff, you never saw him anymore. And that was because of the neck injury. And that's whenever they started teaming up Black and Ricochet. So I almost feel like this is all because of that.
That they're doing, that they're pushing those two guys. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I will say my other mark-out moment for this week is wrestling related. When Ronda Rousey started beating the crap out of Becky Lynch.
Bro.
Dude, there were at least 3 times I'm like, her elbows dislocated. Her arm's broken. The way Ronda was doing it, it was like UFC fighting.
Bro, when she was punching, I was like, oh.
It wasn't WWE where she like bends the arm, and so when it comes down, it's like, yeah, it looks bad, but she's not hurting. I'm like, wait, hold. Her arm, stop!
That was actually the most legit I've ever seen Ronda's armbar look.
Yeah.
Because the other ones have been like, oh, she's just putting her arm like that. Okay. That hurts? All right. Yeah, no. Tap. But this one, though, man, like, she went off, and it was fiery, and I feel like there was a little part of it that was kind of real.
And there was even a clip after when it went off that BC put on Twitter, and I'm like, no, Ronda's in the ring fighting.
Yeah.
Ronda's,
no one else is.
Ronda's not just doing a bit. She is fighting.
Yeah. But I will say, I think we're probably headed to the direction of Ronda going, and it's probably okay. Mm-hmm. And I say that because she's been coming out a lot lately and just being like, well, wrestling's fake, blah, blah, blah. It's all scripted, whatever. I'm the only one that's like a true UFC fighter or a true fighter. And I'm like, girl, calm down. Nobody likes to hear that. We all know. It's just like, we don't need to talk about it.
And okay, and even when you
and she's also saying the F word now too.
When I say wrestling is fake, I'm not saying the stuff that they're doing is fake, because people are getting hurt. People are getting injured. You can't fake getting hit in the head and having to have stitches and blood pouring down your face. I mean,
sometimes they do. Some
people they do cut themselves, but still, you're getting injured.
Yeah.
I seen Eddie Guerrero do a frog splash, and when he did it, I saw his elbow just go.
There was one. I was watching this like old clip whenever the Young Bucks were like in like this TLC match of sorts. It wasn't a TLC match, but there were just ladders and tables involved, and Nick Jackson like jumps out, or he gets pushed off of the ladder, and he goes out of the ring to go and like land on a table, except he didn't quite land on the table. Like the table did not break. Instead, he just went boom, like off of the table, and he was like, "Yeah, I almost died." So, like, these things are very dangerous that these people are doing for people's entertainment and enjoyment. And I like the fact that Ronda's finally a heel. She's needed to be a heel for a long time, but let's just scale it back.
Yeah, when I say that, these stories, the conflicts and issues between the people. It's fake as hell. I don't care what you tell me. It's freaking fake.
The Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey one. That's
kind of like
that feels like, real.
That looks like hate, true hate right there.
And that probably means that they're doing their job.
Becky's having fun.
Yeah.
But it seems like Ronda don't know how to act, or she don't know how to take
Ronda's
this thing.
Pissed.
So that's my other moment. But
it's gonna be interesting.
Let's
what other?
Do you have one? Do you have a mark out that you need to tell us about?
I did. I was actually really excited to see Mustafa Ali on this latest episode of SmackDown, because I've missed him, and I think like this whole Kofi Kingston push was supposed to be for Mustafa Ali, and so I'm like that he's finally coming back. I did hear that there's a potential that WrestleMania, the United States Championship match, is going to be Samoa Joe versus John Cena. And I'm like, ooh, that would be damn good. And it's all because R-Truth kept coming out and being like, my hero, John Cena. And so like I feel like that's how they're going to tie into that. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm into that.
Okay.
That one's pretty cool. I like that they're finally doing something legitimate with the United States Championship. And then Batista comes back on Monday. And I'm
surprised they did anything with freaking R-Truth or K-Quick.
Giving him the title was because he did not get to compete in the Royal Rumble. Like, that was a straight up makeup. Like, all right, sorry you didn't get to compete. Here's the United States title. And I thought he did a great job with it. He really did. Only for like a couple of weeks, but I thought he was great. Did you watch any of his matches on SmackDown?
I did not watch it this week.
Oh, dude, it was so great. He was just like, we're going to have this United States Championship open challenge. And so, like, everybody keeps coming out, and he's like, okay, like, we don't really need to do this, guy. He was like, I was thinking like one of y'all, not like everybody. It was pretty great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we are, channel surfing. The part of the show where we talk about things we loved this week on channels other than Netflix.
Okay.
Yes,
you want to break that rule real quick?
Not going to happen.
You want to break that rule?
Okay. Okay. The show is called The Order, and it's on Netflix. And it is about. It's kind of a mix of what's the mix of? The Magicians, Bitten, CW Legacies.
Yeah.
The Shadow Hunters. It's just a mixture of a bunch
of stuff. It's a mosh posh.
Yeah.
Or hodgepodge.
And when I looked at the trailer on YouTube, all the comments were like, yeah, this sucks. This is horrible. This was a month ago, before it ever came out.
I didn't even know this was a thing, to be honest.
I actually knew about it, but there was two shows called, there's The Magic Order and The Order. The Magic Order is supposed to be an animated thing that Netflix is doing. Based off Millar stuff. But The Order came out, and so I checked it out, and it's okay. I didn't hate it. It's not the greatest story, and the one thing I really do not like about it is that it doesn't seem like Hollywood knows how to portray werewolves anymore. I've posted online. Go look at American Werewolf in London. Go look at Silver Bullet. The Howling. Just the first one.
Twilight.
Forget everything else. No. No. Twilight. Yeah, if you want to know how a pack dynamic works for werewolves, yeah, maybe look at Twilight, but that's about it. You're not looking at it for anything else.
I don't know. We're talking glittery vampires.
I just want to unleash Buffy and Blade in that fucking world.
Yeah, no one would survive at all.
Yeah, but it's a decent show. What you have is a kid who wants to go to college to join this secret society called the Hermetic Order of the Blue Rose.
He's too pretty.
Which are a bunch of magicians.
The main character's too pretty.
That's what they do now.
He's just way too pretty.
Everyone's going off of what the CW does.
Yeah, just way too pretty.
And it's just pretty.
Yeah, like he's even got the whole dimple in the chin thing going.
But
he's got the heart in his hair.
The girl was nowhere near Alice from Magicians.
No. She's not crazy. Alice is
was
crazy.
Cute. Alice is like smoking hot.
Alice is also crazy, so that's kind of what accentuates that for you.
Well, yeah.
You like crazy.
Yeah, crazy girls. Crazy girls are fun. Until they stab you.
She would. Legit stab you.
So he wants to join this secret society, which is a society of magicians or magic users, witches and warlocks and blah, blah, blah. And you find out that there are werewolves around, and you come to learn the werewolves are kind of keeping the magicians in order because they're not good people.
Yeah.
They do human sacrifices and things like that. Mm-hmm. So they're like, we need to keep them from expanding. We need to, kill a few every now and then.
Yeah.
So once he finally becomes a member of the order, and he's a neophyte to be trained and learn how to use magic, he gets turned into a werewolf. So now he's a double agent. Or he's with the werewolves, but he's also part of the order and trying to find out what's going on there. And then you also find out that his dad is part of the order.
Interesting. Yeah.
The dad who just left him. So yeah, I mean, again, it's an okay show. It's not the strongest story. And the way they ended it, they could very well end right there. And they can not do another season. I would like them to. But
they might. See. They might. I mean, depends on if they get enough views. But I don't know. Like, I watched the first maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and I was following it okay, except for certain parts where it was like, so they go to this university. Like, he spent his entire life trying to get into this university. He does. And I'm assuming this whole time it's because he knows about magic. And then he finds out about magic at the school, and he goes to tell his grandfather, and he's just like, magic's real, interesting. And I'm like, what? Hold up. Why are you there? Like, I just could not understand, like, why they kept being there, and, like, why he wasn't, like, when he saw the magic, he didn't seem freaked out. He was just like, oh, okay, yeah, they're using necromancy.
Well, he probably knew about it. His father thought it was probably just some kind of cult. Grandfather, yeah. Grandfather thought it was a cult. And it's like, it's the secret order people who later on they can move into a position of power later on, blah, blah, but they're killing people or whatever his grandfather thought. But I mean, that's my reasoning for it.
I think the show is decent. It's just, it seems very loose as far as the writing is concerned for the reason why we're here. The reason why we're at this place, the reason why we're doing all of this. Mm-hmm. It just, the whole thing just feels like they needed a reason, and they were like, he's there. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, well, like I said, when I put it on my Facebook page alone, I said I didn't like the thing about the werewolves, but other than that, it's a pretty good show.
It's not bad. And I thought the werewolf
it's something
looked
to
cool,
watch.
By the way. I thought the werewolf at least looked badass.
Yeah, the werewolves look great. They look like the howling werewolves, not some of these man type werewolves, Teen Wolf type of things that they do. Yeah, it did not. They look like humanoid wolves.
Yeah. So
that part was good, but the way the wolves acted, some of them were kind of. They have no real pack dynamic. This guy is the leader, but this one it does more thinking for the group and stuff like that. And it's like, are you really the alpha? Yeah. I mean, is it because you're older?
Yeah.
Because one of the other werewolves could have easily beat him and become the pack leader.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Season 2.
Yeah. There are things that need to be fixed, but overall, yes, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You may want to check it out if there's nothing else you have to watch.
I was actually having that issue recently where I'm like, I don't really have any Netflix shows to watch right now, and I really like watching Netflix shows. So, I'm kind of trying to branch out and see other things right now. I'm waiting on some Amazon Prime shows to come out, like Hannah, which comes out at the end of March. And then still working on Grand Tour, which has been really good. The previous episode was that they went on a vacation using RVs, and they souped up their RVs into like really stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. Stuff that you would not go on an RV adventure with, and it was actually really freaking funny. But I don't really have a whole lot that's like different, just because like I finished everything really. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, well, we do have American Gods coming up.
Yeah, that'll come up soon.
Tomorrow or yesterday, depending on whenever the hell you watch this.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
There was a lot of talk about, the Game of Thrones stuff, we mentioned that. But then there's also the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
the prequel stuff that they have coming up on Amazon.
So basically, it's going to happen, or it's going to take place before the Fellowship of the Ring, and I feel like we already knew that because we're going to have young Aragorn. But it's also going to take place around the same time, if I'm not mistaken, that the first ring was made. Like the One Ring was made.
That was the first ring made?
The One Ring?
The One Ring? I thought it was... They made all the other rings, then that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant the One Ring. Because the One Ring to rule them all, the One Ring to bind them, the One Ring to find them. Anyway, so I think that's what it's going to be about. And from my buddy Tyler, who really knows everything about Lord of the Rings and everything that J.R.R. Tolkien made, is that this... Despite the fact that it's young Aragorn, which seems like it wouldn't take place around the same time as the formation of the rings, because around the same time as the formation of the rings was the same time that Isildur was the king and was around and everything like that. And Isildur is Aragorn's father. Well, I think Aragorn is Isildur's heir. So it just seemed like it was a weird thing, and then there was like several, like 60 some odd years between that time, between the Lord of the Rings and all that. So I thought it was interesting because I was like, man, that wouldn't make sense because Aragorn's, he's at least a middle-aged man by the time the Fellowship's going on. Mm-hmm. And my buddy told me, he's like, no, Aragorn's not actually. He said Aragorn is pretty damn old by the time the Fellowship of the Ring starts, like by our standards. Aragorn's supposedly like around like 80, 90 years old by the time the Fellowship of the Ring's going on.
Really?
And the reason why is because he comes from a line of men, or a race of men that like, I think the first men or something like that like have that longevity. They have the gift of longevity.
Oh.
So he has like so many adventures that he went on that we have no idea about.
So the Aragorn we see in the Fellowship of the Ring is actually probably 90 years old.
Pretty damn old. Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why he knows Legolas so well. Too, because Legolas he's not young.
Oh yeah, well
Legolas is old.
You know a bit about elves, period. I mean, elves their teenage years for us is like, well, for them it's like 100.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Exactly.
So that's like 13 for them. So.
Right. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to see other different parts of Middle Earth that I'm really excited to finally get to check out. So it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I'm fascinated by it. I want to see who they cast. I think this is going to be a show that I think we're still like several years away. Like I think 2021 probably is the most feasible idea for when we're going to see this show.
Yeah.
But I'm really pumped for it.
I'd love to see it soon.
I hope 2020.
I don't know the whole thing about the whole J.R. Tolkien world, the Middle Earth stuff either. Just a cartoon I saw when I was like a child.
The Hobbit?
Little kid.
That cartoon's terrible.
And then these movies. I never read the books, anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, the books are amazing. They're incredible stuff. But you still you have to do a lot of research to actually understand that whole world, because there's a lot of it. Because J.R.R. Tolkien died before he really finished building this entire world. So it's been his estate that's really been like finishing it all.
Oh, okay. So I guess because I know that there's a Middle Earth role playing game out there, which I never played. I just did straight D&D.
Yeah.
But
I would do that.
The Middle Earth role playing.
Oh, dude, I'd be so into
dealt
that.
with his world, so I guess
I'd be so into that. That'd be interesting.
Whatever they did
we should
was
do
built.
that.
Well, I don't know.
Let's do like a weekly thing where we just go through like Lord of the Rings D&D style. Like that would be badass.
Okay, we might start doing D&D.
We should totally do that.
It's not going to happen.
We should totally do that.
We should probably do it.
All right.
We might do it.
See. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I call being a Balrog. Makes no sense.
We're busy people.
We are busy people.
Yeah, we got jobs.
Also lazy. All right.
Let's close this sucker up.
All right, so this has been another fine episode of Channel Control. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go ahead and share it. Tell all your friends about it. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us what you even think about this whole episode. We don't care. He'll read the comments. Anyway, I have been Matt, a.k.a. Move the Joystick. You can find me on all social media right there at Move the Joystick. It's very easy. Don't forget to check out Channel Control, which is, Cinelinks, where you can find this show as well, and as well as a whole bunch of news and reviews that we do throughout the year. Don't forget to check out BC at REALJACKASS Real Jackass BC, and don't forget to check out this man, Rob Entropy, at Entropy1 on Twitter.
Yeah, don't go to Entropy1.
Instagram is better?
Neither one.
Oh, follow Channel Control
Just
at
go to
Instagram.
Channel Control, yes, thank you very
go.
much. Just go to Channel Control on Twitter or Channel Control TV here on YouTube or on Instagram,
There you go.
where I try to keep up with whatever's going on. I try. I do my best.
He does try. And stay tuned for another episode of the wrestling podcast that we have not named yet. Let's also stay tuned for that Lord of the Rings D&D game that we may or may not do. But in all of that, stay tuned next week where we'll have another fine and amazing show of Channel Control.